Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, April 18th, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I will remember to allow my soul to lead. And this is good. This is very good and important to allow the soul to be the leader. We're building into this full moon. And anytime we build into the moon is responsible for our emotional self. So as she builds into her fullness and the light, anything that is darkness may be bumped up by the light, and it can increase our emotional tides. Just like the tides in the ocean are increased when we have lunar activity. So just be very aware of that as you move through the day. We have Mercury, which has moved into Aries, and Mercury in Aries is definitely adding a little fire to our communication as well. So if we can allow our soul to lead, sometimes that can help us give pause before we dive into the fighting. Awareness will be one of your best friends, and it's going to be really interesting relating wise, relationship wise, whether it's your relationship with God, Spirit, Universe, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your yin and your yang, your relationship with your cat. Mahalo just jumped up here to come join me. Your relationship with your lover, your relationship with coworkers, your children, your teachers, whatever. As we build into this full moon in Libra responsible for the sign as the sign of relationships, we have some squares going on with the moon. So squares show us where we come into resistance. And some of these planets that we're coming into resistance with, we may really feel. We have a square with Saturn. We have the moon squaring the nodes. So the moon is squaring the north and south node, which could mean in this resistance that we find ourselves falling into old patterns. But we remember with the north node, as we nurture ourselves, as we parent ourselves, as we mother ourselves, North Node in Cancer, that maybe we can have breakthroughs that start find balance. Mahalo scratching himself and shaking the computer. It's not an earthquake. It's just a mahalo. See? Testing with relating. We also have the moon square Pluto. So between moon square Saturn, the nodes, and Pluto, that's all going to be happening like kind of boom, boom, boom as the moon moves fairly quickly through signs, like basically through the afternoon. It's going to start to get a little tense. As we feel that resistance, one of the big things is don't give your power away. Be aware of yourself. Be mindful. Don't give your power away. Just right beforehand, it's so funny. I was complaining. I got bit by a mosquito. It's very itchy and red and swollen. I'm very reactive to mosquitoes. And I was like, oh, I have a headache from this mosquito. And I'm like, oh, great, I'm giving my power away to a mosquito. Your challenge with relating may even be with a mosquito. Be aware of when you give that power away and where you can come back into that space of empowerment through here. I think that's going to be probably the biggest test. There may be things outside of you that cause you to fall off your balance of letting your soul be the leader. You know, it may be society shoulds. That's the square with Saturn. I should be doing this. I would be better if I was doing this. You know, you may feel that thing. That Pluto energy, it could be, you know, like, well, who do you think you are doing things this way? And you have to remember to find, this is the key. This is always the key to Libra energy. My feeling the highest vibration of Libra energy is find that harmony within yourself. Chances are, if you are reacting outside of yourself, there's not harmony going on in here. So how do you get back into harmony? How do you get back into center? How do you get back into your power within here so that you can move through these situations as gracefully as possible? It may not be easy. You may fall off the tightrope because it really is. I mean, that's really what this astro is. Heads up to anybody 1981 babies. Right now I'm going through my Pluto square. So where Pluto is in Capricorn is directly square my Pluto in Libra, and that's adding another extra little element. It's like alligators chasing you on the tightrope. It's the image in my head. So be very aware of this, you know, and again, how can you take back your power? How can you be in your place of responsibility? How will you respond in a way that's true to you? How can you allow your soul to lead you through this? Again, while remembering the full moon will bring up the emotions and it will make them come up and out. The other aspect of that is kind of nice. And it's like, oh, we go through these things and then Pluto's like, it's all good. I love the moon connecting to Jupiter. If you find that your day has just been all out wonk, around 6 p.m., 6, 7, 8 p.m. Pacific time, that's a time to maybe make a little shift into the gratitude space. What were the lessons that you learned today? From a higher perspective, what were you learning? What was the point? What was the point of this resistance? How can your soul guide you through this part? And how can you find gratitude even for these things? That'll help shift you and prepare you for the full moon, which is happening early in the morning on Friday. The moon is 4:12 a.m. on Friday morning. So if you can, go through those squares, find that resistance, work through it, come back to that harmony, balance space within you, and then, okay, here's where I'm grateful for the lessons. This is what it showed me. This is my higher path. This is what my soul wanted me to know. Then you're like, okay, that was the point of this. Let me show you my card. So we've got the soul. Oh my goodness. That just scared me. We've got the soul right here, the source energy. Ground in, connect in, especially before you make any meetings or anything through the day. Because I do have this, I have the fighting and I have the guilt card. And a lot of times the guilt card, this card, it goes hand in hand with the shoulds. The shoulds that we have in our head versus the soul, I don't want to say shoulds, but the soul desires, the soul's yeses, we get caught up in these things, and that's kind of what it feels like. And that kicks us right out of the receptivity. But honestly, if we're utilizing the highest level of that Libra energy, which is the harmony, balance, centered place within the self, it is a place of being open to receive. So if you're here, see how you can shift into that receptivity again. The other card I have, which we didn't really mention, is playfulness. There's definitely possibility for this, especially if you make it a game. Oh, I fell off the tightrope again. Those darn alligators that are chasing me. Like, you can always be silly about it because we're all experiencing this to some level or another, depending on your chart, depending on what's being hit in your chart. So let's take a moment for gratitude. I am grateful right now that I do not feel like that I'm on a tightrope with alligators chasing me. Hooray. Besides that, you can always book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com to do that. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. Open up to receive it. And you do have the power. And remember that through these astro energies today, and don't even give it away to a mosquito. Okay, namaste.